Here's a direct question. How can I change my overwhelm? If you want to change your overwhelm for good, that means move past it and not return to it. You have to find out where it's coming from. Most people, everyone who's 5 sensory, in fact, thinks that an emotion originates outside of yourself. In other words, you think, I'm overwhelmed because I don't have as much money as I thought I was going to have. Or I'm overwhelmed because I have so much work to do, and I don't see how I can get it done before the timeline. Or I'm feeling overwhelmed because the person I thought I was going to spend my life with is not sure that he or she wants to spend life with me. And so, when we think that the origin of our emotions is outside of ourselves, then we try to change that thing that's outside of ourselves so that we won't experience this emotion if it's painful. And overwhelm is painful. That means we try to change the world. Changing the world in order to make yourself feel better or to make yourself feel safe is called external power. It's the way that we have evolved since the origin of our species until recently. Here's the thing. The pursuit of external power, the ability to manipulate and to control things that are outside of us, is now no longer productive. It's counterproductive to our evolution. It produces only violence and destruction. Now, what's this got to do with changing your overwhelm? Everything. Because as you become multisensory, you begin to see something remarkable about emotions, something that most psychologists do not know, something that most people have not yet considered. However, there are millions of us now becoming multisensory, and all of those millions of people are experimenting with exactly this, that emotions originate inside of us. They are freestanding, so to speak. So if you think that you can change your emotions by changing something outside of you, think again. You won't be able to. The most you'll be able to do is distract yourself from a painful emotion such as overwhelm by going to a movie or doing some of the things that people have used to distract themselves from painful emotions for a long time. All of our addictions are those kinds of distractions. Eating, having sex, shopping, gambling, smoking, drinking, using drugs. Compulsions are ways of distracting yourself. Workaholism, perfectionism, obsessive thoughts are ways of distracting yourself. Thinking again and again something negative like, he's so stupid, or I'm so stupid, or I can't live without her, or I can't live without him. All of these can distract you. There's countless ways to distract yourself from a painful emotion, from going to the movies to sitting by a stream. However, the only way to change your overwhelm, in this case, the painful emotion that we're talking about, is to locate its source and to change that source. That source is in you. And therefore, to change that source, you've got to look inside yourself. That means whenever you experience overwhelm, look at what you feel in terms of physical emotions in different parts of your body, such as your throat and your chest area and your solar plexus area. You can learn about this in a book that Linda Francis, my spiritual partner, and I co-authored called The Heart of the Soul, Emotional Awareness. As you begin to develop emotional awareness, you begin to experience emotions such as overwhelm in terms of physical sensations in your body. And when you do, you can recognize it when it comes again. Of course, some people will say, well, I recognize overwhelm when it comes again. It happens every time. I'm low on money. I have too much work to do. The way I want my life to unfold isn't working. But all of those are external triggers. They activate the source of this painful emotion inside of you. And it's a painful emotion when you examine it. And that pain, the physically painful emotions that you experience when you look into overwhelm with your emotional awareness, tell you that this emotion comes from fear. And to move beyond it, you need to experience it fully, not to repress it or deny it or try to avoid it by distracting yourself, but going into it with your emotional awareness, really getting to know it. And then while you're feeling it, choose instead to respond to it instead of react to it. React to it means act because of it in ways that you have acted before. And those create the same consequences that reacting to overwhelm has created in the past. You disconnect yourself from people. You close down. You shut yourself in. All you can focus on is getting out of this overwhelm. And the only way you can think of to get out of it is to get more money, do more work, or find another partner, or fix the problem that you have with your partner now. But this leaves intact the source of your overwhelm. And only when you change that will you change your overwhelm. That means looking inside yourself. That means developing emotional awareness. And it means challenging overwhelm, this frightened part of your personality, when it comes. And challenging means choosing to respond to it with a healthy part of your personality instead of reacting to this unhealthy part of your personality. Well, what are the healthy parts of your personality? Gratitude is a healthy part of your personality. Contentment is a healthy part. Patience is a healthy part. Appreciation is a healthy part. And when you feel overwhelmed, if you choose, instead of reacting on it, to respond from one of these healthy parts of your personality, you challenge that painful part of your personality in that moment. This is called creating authentic power. This is creating authentic power. That is, instead of letting yourself be controlled by it again, you decide that you will not. You decide instead that you will move your attention and your experience into the most healthy part of your personality that you can reach for. How can you look, for example, at the world with gratitude while you're feeling overwhelmed? You can look at it this way. You can say, I'm grateful for this painful experience of overwhelm because it gives me an opportunity to challenge it, to experience it consciously and move beyond it, as I'm going to do now, as I am doing now, by moving my attention into gratitude or appreciation or patience. When you do this, you are in the process of developing mastery in your life. You are in the process of moving beyond the control of the external world and creating your own consequences consciously with responsible choice. That's a choice that creates consequences for which you're willing to assume responsibility. And if you act on overwhelm, you'll create destructive and painful consequences. You'll be flustered. You won't create intelligently. You won't be intelligent. And as you challenge it and you move into appreciation or gratitude or any healthy part of your personality that you can reach for, you begin to do something that you haven't done before, to create a distance between you and a painful part of your personality, such as overwhelm, realizing that it doesn't come from the unchangeable ground of your being, but from a part of your personality, and that you have many parts of your personality, and you can choose to respond from a healthy part rather than react from this unhealthy part. This is the way to move beyond overwhelm, to move beyond it not just in this occasion or in that occasion or in that occasion, but on all occasions. In other words, to move beyond it so that the external world no longer triggers overwhelm in you. That's creating authentic power. And that's what this video and all of the videos that you will see, it's about creating authentic power. And it'll show you how to create emotional awareness, how to make responsible choice, how to consult your intuition, how to develop mastery in your life. Good question.